you divine, infinite human beings. You are all that is, ever has been, and ever can be. You are divine, infinite love. You are divine, infinite source. Nice to be with you. And I want to take this moment, this intimate moment, to tell you what I have felt called by the divinity inside of me to do during this very pivotal time on our planet, during the lockdown here in Italy. And this is because it has been right in my face. And as a human being, an infinite human being, and as God, and one who recognizes that God is in all of us, in everything, and God is love, infinite love, which I'm part of. I am love. I am divine, infinite love and light. So when I see injustices on the planet, I have always, it's just in my nature, it's in my DNA, to speak up and speak out, especially when I'm being muzzled. And literally, it happened to me. When it reaches me, I speak out. So I've spent this past month locked down in Italy, even instead of just staying out here in nature in my villa, which I pretty much could and really is supposed to. I've also, when I needed to go in to get groceries or whatever, been very, very, very active and spoken out in whatever way I could, in Italian, in English, even though my computer got a virus, which is happening to a lot of people because it is a planned thing to take you out, and it did. So I moved to videos, so I moved to live streams on Facebook. I got as active as I could with all the limitations placed on me, because when people try to stop me, I shine brighter. That's just my nature, and I felt a real calling to do that, and I have. I've given voice to those who have been muffled. I've given a voice to humanity, to those who have not consented, given informed consent to all the imprisoning and enslavement that is being taken to an even higher level than what most people don't even know, that we've been a prison planet, and now it's going to a higher level. So I've been very vocal about that. You can see all my videos if you're interested in catching up. But at this point, something happened that turned the corner for me. Everything that I have been getting intuitively and saying and talking about, David Icke pretty well, who has been doing this also for 30 years and has been so persecuted, said so very well in an interview that is constantly being taken down. It's been banned, but I spread it all over everywhere I could, because I felt like his voice needed to be heard, and he did it in a much more, that's his job, that's his purpose on this planet, and he did it in such a very intelligent, well-documented, well-researched format. So I invite you to explore this man, David Icke. And he's doing a good job, and I'm supporting his voice to be heard. I also support, a lot of people are afraid when they hear the word off-planet or the word alien, something pops up that blocks them. It's a program that makes you think, oh, that person's crazy. They don't exist, so don't listen to this person. It's a program, and actually goes deeper than that in most of humanity's mind. But if you are ready to free yourself from that program, I also recommend a woman named Lisa Renee, and she has the website Synergetic energy synergy or something. Lisa Renee, she's not the author, she's a spiritual person, and she explains what's going on at that level very well. So I will refer all people to those two places to get more detailed information. I think between those two people you can get a real clear idea of the agendas that are running on this planet. And again, I think it's really important for people to look, to see what's happening, not just to ignore it, but to know what the agenda is so they don't get subconsciously drawn into it. I very much believe in that. With that said, right, with that said, and are they my gurus? No. Do I, follow them? No. Do I use them for good external information sources or confirmation of what I'm getting? Yes. Do I tell you to believe them? No. Just take what resonates and leave the rest. So that's my job. I've been highly persecuted, both in the physical forms and other forms. And even when I placed David Icke's interview around in Italy, because he speaks a lot about Italy, I've got just, crucified, which is normal, and blocked and attacked. So what I have done is I put it out there. I'll keep voicing myself because that's how I am. But I do think it would be a wonderful thing. I mean, I would love to see Earth where people just finally said enough's enough, took off their muzzles, their face masks, stepped outside into the light of day and raised their voices up and figured out what was going on and said, no, we're not going to take it anymore. I love that. I've been saying that, I hope it happens. Do I think it's going to happen? Do I think the sheeple are going to really, rise up? And I'm not going to say no. Miracles can happen. I'm not holding my breath. But so with that said, I'm not going to put more energy in that direction because my energy is precious. And, I do care about humanity, but I'm not going to keep doing something that there are people out there who are doing it even better than me. And I will raise my voice, but now I want to talk about more spiritual matters, because that's where the real energy has to be once you have broken free from the mind control and the programs and the narratives that are trying to capture you. I think we really need to be, most of all, empowered. The fall of humanity occurred when we bought the idea that God is something separate than us, that we have to go outside of ourselves to know truth, to learn something. We have to pay someone, like a spiritual teacher or guru, a preacher, a teacher, a psychic. We have to, give our power away. We have to kneel and pray to something outside of ourselves. God is everything. It's inside of you too. It's okay to get informed. Of course you're going to get informed. You live on planet Earth, If I'm in Sicily now, if I'm traveling to, Spain, I'm going to learn the language. If I can, I'm going to learn, all about the roads and where to go and the good places to eat. That's just being intelligent. And, you have to inform yourself, especially in the three-dimensional planet. But at the same time, you follow yourself, your intuition. And what is that? That is that voice that you know that voice. You know that voice, okay? This is so important. This is the most important message you can hear. You can trust that voice inside of you. You can. That's that little voice that says, take the umbrella when it's a beautiful day. And if you don't listen to it, you're like, it's raining and you knew you should have listened to it. Me, a silly little thing, shampoo and conditioner, I went to a store And the guy said, tried to sell me big bottles. I didn't want to do it. He said, well, you should probably buy something more. And I knew I should have bought this conditioner. It's a little thing, but now I'm without it. Just a little thing. Buy that thing of water, turn down this street. Stop, here. And what happens? Magic. You meet synchronicity. You meet the right person that you just needed to talk to at that moment. You buy the right thing. You get the right message. That is the truth. That is reality. Everything else is just noise, 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 noise. You can confirm, you can read the signs and symbols that are talking to you all the time, whether you call them your spirit guides, angels, but it's also you, because it's God. God is everywhere. It's part of you. So you need to start bringing that power back to you, your ability to discern, to know the truth. You need to start building that trust of your own inner voice. And, unfortunately, most spiritual leaders are not going to tell you that. Why? Because it works against them. I hate to say it, but financially, they benefit by you going and paying them to tell you, to confirm, to validate you, to empower you. But if you're going to anything else, I call it the guru heroin, the guru heroin, or, whatever, to give you a temporary fix to make you feel better, well, that's a crutch, fine. I mean, if you can't walk, use a crutch, for God's sakes, yes. But I think we're coming to a time on the planet where those who have been on a spiritual path for a long, long time need to really, really start stepping out of being children of God, of praying to God or bowing to something outside of themselves, and bow to the divinity within themselves, and surrender to that. Surrender their ego, surrender from the distractions to that, surrender to that inner knowing that you have that. Okay, so something to grow. Now, and last thing I'm going to tell you, I'll let you go, is we're dealing with something new here. And it's going to be, you can navigate it, but I'm just giving you a heads up. We're dealing with a new, it's been here, but it's really going to be implemented all over the planet. And it is a technological matrix of deception. So some of you are already realizing the deception that's been out there on the media and the social media and the news, all that. But now we're dealing with technological deceptions and false ascension. So, how do you discern? You have the ability to discern. I promise you, you do. I'm going to tell you how I'm learning to navigate this new thing. Now, many of you who are on ascension paths understand ascension symptoms, and you're getting good at dealing with them. You understand when higher levels of organic energy that comes from the plasma photons, that comes from the alignments of suns, that is intense vibrational, raising the vibration, bringing more light into our body, and purging out the density, the toxins, the lower vibrations. Higher vibrations pushing out the lower vibrations, causing us to detox, whether it's physical toxins, emotional toxins, mental toxins, spiritual toxins. That is the organic, natural way of returning to our divine, infinite human state. It's all good, it's all God, and it's happening. Now we're getting something else that's coming into the equation. And I say heads up. It's like you're going to Spain, you want to know what hotel not to stay in. That's full of bed bugs and is just gross, and what hotels are good, good food, good people, not real expensive, doesn't take advantage of you, right? I'm just telling you. I've decided I'm not a spiritual teacher. Nope, I'm a tourist guide. So I'm just giving you free information. So, but discern it yourself. But I'm just telling you, heads up. So if you hear it and you feel it, you'll know what I'm talking about. You, as an organic, ascending being, infinite human being, are beginning to sense these organic energies. At least I am. I can tell when the high vibration, the Schumann resonancy is really high, and there's a very high, um, you know, organic, natural ascension energy. There's also now with the 5G and the technological prison around us, there's a lot of other technological weaponry, 5G beam steering that can be directed directly at you, at your physical body, at your electronics, everything. And it can also, I think this war is also going on over you, over consciousness, is also going on internally. So when you feel, if you're a sensitive light being, you can sense that technology. It feels just very icky to you. It just feels off. It feels like, I don't know, I don't know if many of you can do it, but I can taste, or organic, natural apple, especially here in Sicily where it grows right around, right out here. Or I can taste, a GMO apple. I can tell the difference. I can sense the life force in it, the vibration, the vitality, the true purity of its architecture. So when you feel these other heavier energies that are not expanding you, they will purge you though. Okay, let me getting ahead of myself. But when you feel those heavy energies kind of trying to infiltrate you, be aware, one, and two, you can transmute them, you can use them. So I want you to start, first of all, discerning the difference. That's the first step. Knowing when it's an ascension energy and when it perhaps is more of a descension energy or an attack. And you can use that to purge things out of you, because one of the things it does is it does stir up a lot of underlying dis-ease or infections you have in your body, which forces you to address them and deal with them, perhaps by, and again, this is all preventative stuff that you're going to have to figure out yourself. And I think hope most of you listening know this, how to do things like that, what actions. But the most important thing is to realize that's happening, to inform yourself about how to protect yourself against these EMF frequencies, these artificial intelligent frequencies. There's so many things out there. I know what works for me, but I don't know what works for you. You have to determine that. I do my weird things, and maybe it just works because I believe in them. But it's something you have to do, and you have to learn to transmute these dissension energies into ascension energies, which I believe you can, and also begin to work. The last step is to begin to transmute the framework that has been placed around the planet, the technological prison matrix, and to run crystalline rainbow frequencies through it to transmute it and free it, and break it up, disintegrate it. That's the job at hand. Please, if you listened to me, because otherwise I'll just talk into a mirror. If you've listened to this, if it's been helpful, please like it. Please add a comment so I know that there is someone out here who's actually hearing my voice. Even just, hi. And share it too if you think it's of use to other people, because I really am going to put my energy into working with people like you who are on the forefront of this, who are people who are spiritually evolving, because as we evolve, we bring humanity up with us. And just for me, throwing my voice out there to the masses is just it's not really productive and the best use of my energy, because getting a lot of resistance and persecution, and so I'd like to find a small group of people who I can really support. We can support each other, and we can move past this next level of challenge that is being presented to us in creating, and freeing our beautiful planet for ascension. Love to you guys. Ciao, ciao from Italy.